Please, I can't sleep.
It's time to listen to Courtney at last on the Ramblings of an Insomniac podcast.
Good afternoon, fellow insomniacs. Welcome to episode 102 of the Ramblings of an Insomniac. I am Courtney. Good afternoon. I'm outside in my yard, giving the dogs some sunshine, getting them their vitamin D, listening to my neighbors working on their property. I always feel like when they're working on their property, I need to be getting off my ass and doing stuff on mine. Plus, it's like the last sunny day that we've got for a while. It's going to be rainy, from what I understand, for all until May, June. But hey, that's okay because April showers bring spring and summer flowers, and we need the rain. We've had no rain for a long time, so I'm not complaining. It's just sometimes it's nice to have a break, and I'm a big fat baby about rain and cold. I love rain if it's warm rain, like tropical rain. I'm living in the wrong state. We have cold and rain, wind, cold, rain. And that's a combo I'm not a huge fan of. But it's funny, we have a neighbor that is 70, and I'm significantly, well, I don't want to say significantly younger. That sounds terrible. I'm younger. And we joke around here that if he is up working on his property, then we definitely need to be working on ours. Because if he's not being lazy at 70, then we sure the heck need to be managing to accomplish something. But then it's really sweet because we told him that and he laughed and he said, that is very kind and I appreciate it. But keep in mind, I'm retired. I don't have a full-time job. My kids are, older. I don't have a full-time job. I don't have as many animals, which is a fair point. I mean, I can't possibly do as much work on my property as he does because he's right. I'm not retired. I don't have nearly as much time as he does. I have to try to fit in working on my property on my days off and after visiting my grandkids and doing errands and trying to clean the house and all of that. I have to somehow fit doing property, which I am not complaining about. Again, not complaining because I am blessed, very, very fortunate that I have property that needs to be maintained, right? So I'm not going to complain about something that I chose, which is what a lot of people seem to do, right? They complain about things that they chose to do, which, hey, sometimes you choose to do something with all the right intentions. You think you have all the information you need to make a choice. And then even when you do have all the correct information and all the facts and you make what you think is a logical, fact-based, research decision, sometimes even those decisions turn out to blow up in your face or turn out to, to not work out, which really sucks because you're like, God, I took the time and the energy to research. I took the time and energy to actually get facts and gather information so that I would make a good, well-informed decision. And sometimes, unfortunately, even those don't work out, which is a big bummer, right? That sucks. But it doesn't mean that you should stop doing it. Even if it doesn't work out, you should probably continue to make decisions after you have, given them some thought. But it's funny because there's always like quotes that tell you to do the opposite, for every quote that tells you to wake up in the morning, like the early bird gets the worm, there's always something else that tells you, no, stop and smell the roses. Or, I've said this before, but it's like, there's always pros and cons of things. Sometimes it's good to be spontaneous and not do a bunch of research and not look into things and just kind of close your eyes and point. Sometimes those end up being the best choices you've ever made. Sometimes those roads that you just kind of go left or right, left, okay. Sometimes that ends up being the best direction you can go. And the fact that you didn't put any thought to it made it amazing. But then there's times, of course, it's really good to do some fact checking. So I guess it depends on what you're trying to decide, right? I mean, if you're trying to decide what to eat, well, then why not just toss a coin and not make a decision? If you're trying to decide where to go on vacation, maybe put a little bit of research, but you can be spontaneous, as in just kind of point and, spin the globe and put your finger down. And if you can afford it, or if you think you could get to a spot where you could save up enough money to afford it, and then plan as far as, what you need to get there and all of that. So there's pros and cons. It depends on what you're trying to, if it's some life altering decision, you should probably if you're trying to decide if you should have a child, probably shouldn't just go, well, let's toss a coin. But I got to thinking about all of this because there's a lot of people nowadays that really cry and whine and complain about choices they made, like New York and California, for example, like Chicago, for example. They wanted to be, these sanctuaries where people can come to and people in mass can come to. And now their cities, their states are turning into, well, they already were, but now they are worse. Then they're like garbage fires. They're dumpster fires. They are riddled with crime and homeless, and um, the streets are just overcrowded. Places are overcrowded. And again, that's because of choices they made. They have made their bed, and now they're having a really hard time lying in it. And it ticks me off because they will end up somehow turning it around to this being somehow Trump's fault or somebody else's fault. They will point the finger at anybody but themselves, or they will twist it to where they're like, no, 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 we weren't saying that we were a sanctuary city, as in we wanted all these people. What we were saying was we like them and everybody else should take them, but we should not take them. It should be everybody else. And it's infuriating when people make bad decision after bad decision after bad decision. And you're like, okay, it's not an accident anymore. It's not a mistake anymore. You just keep making poor decisions. Like when that girlfriend of yours just constantly goes out with the wrong guy. And you're like, Jesus, okay, I get one or two times. You're like, oh yeah, bummer that he turned out to be garbage. Shoot. But then when they choose the same guy, the same type of guy over and over, and you're like, oh, they cheated on you? Shocker. I would have never seen that coming, except for like the 4 other boyfriends that were just like him that you chose did the same thing. Ugh. So infuriating, especially when they're people that that are good people. They're smart. They're beautiful. They have a lot to offer. It's always those that seem to be the most insecure, right? The people that are kind and generous. Hey, sorry, my dog is wanting to play with my other dog and being annoying. But it's always those that are kind and generous and sweet, intelligent, good looking, that seem to be the most insecure. And that's sad. It's sad that insecurity is out there, but I suppose it is a good thing because it keeps us humble and not arrogant. There's that border between being confident and arrogant. Confidence, good. Arrogance, not so much. But there's that fine line. What do we draw the line at? What is the difference? Like maybe, some guy out there has looked like some douche, some major arrogant douche when he's just like, no, I'm a really nice guy. I'm a great guy. I'm going to treat my woman or man right. And I'm just very confident. What's wrong with that? Hang on. Bonnie, come on, Bon Bon. Good girl. Good girl. Yes. Good come, Bonnie. Sorry. As per the usual, I got to rein my dogs in. Come on, Bonnie. Come. And some girl was like, or some guy, cast him aside thinking he was just this big arrogant douche. And it's like, but maybe he's just confident. And that's good. Confidence is great. But I hate it when people get really angry when someone bases who they're going to be with by their looks. Because again, I always say, you don't notice personality when someone walks in the door. You notice their looks. You notice what they look like. So you can't go, that man or woman has a great brain. They're smart. Well, you won't have any way of knowing that. You haven't had a conversation. They haven't spoken yet. But you do know if someone's confident by how they walk. So you can go by if someone seems confident, if someone seems shy or not. You can definitely get some character. You can tell how their character is a bit by how they carry themselves. If they have good posture, you can gather a lot of information by looking at somebody. But you don't normally know if someone's intelligent or funny yet. I mean, I guess if they walk in and they're just like, hey, guys, and just, you can tell kind of the life of the party. Although life of the party doesn't always mean funny. Sometimes life of the party just means annoying and obnoxious. But for one person's annoying and obnoxious is somebody else's funny. For one person's arrogant is somebody else's confident. And again, I say all of this because nowadays we are so quick to just tell others what their opinions should be, what they should like, what they should believe in, what they should tolerate, what they should listen to. And we don't all perceive things the same way. Things don't resonate the same with every single person. I might find one person hilarious and someone else might find them obnoxious and rude. I might find someone blunt and direct. Someone else might find them an asshole and rude. So it's just frustrating when it seems that a lot of people out there are trying to force their beliefs and their opinions on others when their beliefs and opinions are exactly that, opinions, their personal beliefs. And we don't always see things through the same pair of glasses. Some people very much have what I consider beer goggles when I look at a man and I'm like, really? You find them attractive? All right. But that's me. So who cares? Who cares what I think? You're you. You do you, Scotty P. You do you. Be the best you can possibly be. I'll do me over here. And we can get together and hey, if it works, we'll do each other. But you don't get to tell others how to feel. This is not China. This is not Russia. We are not a communist country. We're starting to become one if Biden has his way, if China has their way, if Russia has their way, if Iran has their way, if Palestine has their way. And this whole Israel and Palestine thing, really good gravy. Are people so wrapped in their own asshole and how rosy they think it smells? Do you really think your asshole smells like Dom Perignon and you just shit out caviar? Who the F do you think you are saying death to Americans, death to Jews, gas the Jews, and promote in any way the beheading and murders of babies, and then turn around and christen yourself St. Mary Frances? Turn around and act like you are this sweet, loving, kind, accepting human. How does that make sense? What glasses are you wearing to make it look like killing innocent people is something that should be promoted and something that people should take by the thousands and thousands and wave Palestinian flags down streets and start riots and start being violent? You're talking about how much you hate violence and as you are being violent and pushy. You're talking about how much you hate oppression as you are oppressing somebody else's beliefs, somebody else's opinions, and valuing your beliefs and opinions over others. Not only valuing it more, but absolutely trying to cram it down someone else's throat like like Ron Jeremy, the porn star, trying to cram his big old dick down someone's throat. Sorry not to be graphic, but people are choking on the big dick and they're having a hard time swallowing all the bullshit that people are trying to sell. I don't understand how it's okay to swarm streets and chant things like gas the Jews and death to Americans as they are pretending that they want peace and that they are oppressed. The Palestinians are oppressed. What kind of, you need mental, this is why mental health, mental health, mental health, mental health. We do not have enough counselors and psychiatrists. We do not have enough people that have the ability to get mental health because maybe they don't have insurance. But this is incredibly important to start. We need to figure out mental health from the get-go, from the early age. Kids need to be seen at an early age and get help. And not every kid has something. I'm tired of people overdiagnosing too. Like every kid apparently has ADHD and autism. My son is autistic. I'm not saying that there isn't autism. There is definitely autistic people. That's a fact. It is a fact. I get it. But we're not going to start diagnosing everybody with that and ADD or ADHD just because some kid's hyper or just because some kid observe something different. And because that's all really a quote disability is, right? Is just observing something different, taking in things differently, processing things differently. That's all it is. But we don't get to just call everybody ADD because they're hyper. We don't get to label everybody autistic because they maybe are antisocial. I'm antisocial. I think everybody's antisocial right now because people fucking suck right now. Because people are a bunch of bullshit and exhausting to be around. And I want to slap everybody in their whole face. And that's really irking me because I am not a violent, mean person. I genuinely accept people for who they are. If I don't believe in a darn thing that they say, I just leave them alone and go, well, whatever. I don't believe any of that. Think you're kind of an idiot, but whatever. I'm going to move on with my life. You do you. But lately, all I notice are people's skin color now, because that's all we fucking talk about. That is all African American and Hispanic people and Asian people and everybody of some different skin than white talk about now. That's all we effing focus on is the color of people's skin. I also notice if I think someone is stereotypically gay or not, because of how they hold themselves. Now I'm like looking to see if someone's gay, or I'll look to see if a man is wearing a woman's outfit, or if someone is wearing a woman's outfit that's a man, I notice it more than I would before. I'm constantly checking the bathroom to see if there's a man in it so I can drop kick them and punt their ball sacks up to their throat, because that's what's going to happen if a dude ever walks in a bathroom. I'm going to punt their ball sacks up into their freaking throats. So, word to the wise of any man listening, if you're ever waltz into a bathroom that I am in, you're going to get your surgery for free. You're going to be a woman real quick and it won't cost you a dang thing. I'll do it for free. All the men out there, just come to me and I will give you free ball removal if you try entering a bathroom that I'm in. Or around. If I'm outside of a bathroom and I hear women in a bathroom freaking out because a dude's in there, I'll also come in and for free give you that surgery that you've been dreaming of. You'll learn real quick what it's like to be a woman because your balls will be inside of you. And see, this is who I've turned into now, a bitter, mean, judgy person. I notice everything now about people. So congratulations to the liberals that made it where we were all just going around minding our damn business. And now everybody is noticing every single goddamn thing about everybody except their morals and character. No one seems to give a shit if someone's a good person or not. We don't care if someone says please and thank you, holds open the door. We don't care if people are smart anymore either. So we're just all a bunch of mean, bitter, judgmental dumb shits. That sounds like a winning combo. Yeah, real neat. Sounds like a good combination. Stupid people with no way of defending ourselves whatsoever. Hateful, bitter, being told that we are oppressed and victims. So we have victim mentality. We can't handle anything thrown at us. That sounds like a winning combination of a human. A bunch of pansy, overly sensitive, emotional, ticking time bombs that hate everybody. It's always a good combination to have a ticking emotional time bomb and also hatred. That's a fabulous freaking combo right there. Yeah, that sounds like a recipe for success, folks. Honestly, it's gotten weird. It's weird when trying to convince somebody that a dude breastfeeding is weird and not okay. Why should I have to convince anybody of that? Why is that a conversation that should ever come out of anybody's mouth? If there's a dude trying to breastfeed, they should be thrown in jail. That's called a pedophile. And now all of a sudden, that is just their truth. It's their truth. My truth then is that I'm a billionaire that's in charge of this country. That's my truth. You don't want to mess with my truth. Hang on. Hey! Sorry, I got sidetracked. Where was I? My dog's gotten a little scuffle, so I apologize. Basically, my point is, I do not consider myself a mean, spiteful person. And now it's a walking time bomb when you've got the combination of emotional people with sensitive people that can't handle life, that are pissed off, feel oppressed, and think that everything they can do, there's never going to be consequences for, because that's what's happening. And this is the combination that we're going for. This is what we want future generations to strive to be: a bunch of incapable, dramatic, overly sensitive, angry, bitter martyrs that judge and are absolutely ignorant and have no education, illiterate criminals that are obese. Oh, let's not forget, we are also now promoting obesity because, God forbid, we tell people the truth that being overweight is not healthy for you. No one is saying that if you're overweight, you're a piece of garbage. No one is saying that if you're overweight, your life isn't valuable. People need to stop putting words into other people's mouths. If a doctor says to you, hey, you're 100 pounds overweight, that can cause a heart attack. That can cause diabetes. That can cause arthritis. That can cause back problems, knee problems. Let's lose some weight so that your health is better and you can live longer. Those are bad things now. It's a bad thing to tell your doctor that you are being unhealthy. Isn't that his job? Isn't that kind of what you go to the doctor for? Don't go to the doctor if you can't handle what they have to say. Then stay away from the doctor. Don't ask people their opinion if you can't handle what they have to say. You chose, getting back to choices, you chose to allow yourself to be overweight. There are consequences for those things. Just like when someone chooses to be with the wrong guy over and over and over again, then don't be shocked and awed when that guy turns out to be a douche because you're choosing the same type of men over and over. You don't get to complain about it anymore. You made your bed, you lie in it. Until you make different choices, things aren't going to change. You chose to break into a home and steal stuff. That means you knew there were going to be consequences. So suffering those consequences, being accountable, is par for the course. But now, no one seems to have consequences. There isn't accountability at all. Certainly not our politicians. They just run around willy-nilly. Puck, come. Come. Good. Bonnie, come. Sorry, guys. Now there's a plane, too. Plane bombing. Bonnie, come, come, come. Yes. Good, come. Yes. Good, come, Pucky. Let's go, Henny. Let's go. Momo, come, come. Oh, God. Pause for a brief moment. Oh, Lord have mercy. The inmates are running the prison right now. Jeez. The inmates are totally running the prison. My dogs are a handful today. It's a beautiful day, and we're trying to wrestle them back up to get them back to the house, and we've been out for a while now. But anyway, choices, accountability, our politicians. Zero. Never will be. Unless you're Trump, of course, in which case you'll be held accountable for a fart in a bathroom that stunk real bad when he was 19 years old. He'll be held accountable for not holding open the door for an old lady back in 1982. Meanwhile, our current politicians can do anything they want, and no one cares. Come on, y'all, let's go. This is weird, scary times. This is backwoods, really messed up, freaky times. I'm scared. I feel there could be a civil war. I feel like there could be World War III. Somehow both. I don't know. I feel like all these people coming across the border is a little fucking scary. Don't know why this is allowed. We all need to prepare. We all need to be armed. And those of you out there that are against, that want to take the Second Amendment away, you better not pick up a gun or any type of weapon at all. You better have all your doors open, unlocked, all your windows unlocked. You better tear down your fence, and you better make room for all these effing people that you wanted. I doubt anybody listening is a liberal, because I'm pretty sure they're probably not going to like some things I have to say about liberals. But if you are, hey, I mean, that you just got yourself some points. But not enough to not say what I have to say. Bonnie, come. And that is, you better tear down your fences, take down your security cameras, unlock your doors or keep them open, unlock your windows or keep those wide open, and put, like, I don't know, 2 to 3 of these illegal immigrants in your house per bedroom. For every bedroom that you have, put 2 to 3 illegal immigrants in it. Put a couple on your couch, pop some tents in your yard, and fill up your yard with some tents. And start paying for these cell phones. You can put them on your cell phone plan. They can all be now your responsibility because you wanted them and you thought it was a great and dandy idea. So you better be a great hostess. You better put on your best smile, get that apron on, and start making some sandwiches and doling them out. You better get a second and third job so that you can afford to feed all these people and pay their cell phone bills, because I'm not fucking doing it. And I had heard that federal taxes is not something that we legally have to pay. So we should all definitely stop paying that shit, because we don't even have to pay it. I need to do more research before I open my mouth, but from a lot of things I've heard, technically we legally do not have to pay federal taxes. Bonnie, come. Good girl. So we should all not be doing that. And we should get off TikTok and get on Clapper. Hate that name. It reminds me of the clap. It reminds me of an STD, or Clapper, that light, that you turn on by clapping. I really wish they would have thought of a different name than Clapper, but it's called the Clapper. Apparently, I got on it. It's exactly like TikTok, but apparently they do not censor. And I have to look into this, but I think they're an American company. I need to look into it. But check out Clapper. I think we all need to get the fuck off TikTok. I'm probably going to pull my account, just so you guys know, and open it with Clapper. Again, just think of STD. I know that's terrible. I'm not doing good advertising for Clapper, but it's like they really should have thought of a different name. They have the icon that looks like someone's clapping when you when you sign up, but on the outside, it's like an orange app with like white little, let's see. Oh, I can't look while I'm recording, but I think we definitely don't need to be giving TikTok or any Chinese company. I try really hard not to buy anything from China. I try very, very hard. It's hard not to, but I try hard not to. Feel really bad for Hong Kong. Like I said, I went to Hong Kong and the people there were the most amazing, friendly, kind, hospitable, funny, warm humans I've ever been around. I would go back to Hong Kong in a heartbeat. God, I loved the people there. Nothing but warm and friendly and hospitable. Good people in Hong Kong. I highly recommend people visiting Hong Kong. It's just awesome. Anyway, It's a scary world right now. It's an upside down, topsy-turvy, acid trippy world. And I feel like I'm getting fucked by Ron Jeremy. I know I keep saying that and I'm being vulgar, but geez, I want people to understand the full grasp of how bad I feel fucked right now. And it's ticking me off that people that make these decisions are now crying about it. I mean, you wanted this, so dry your little tears, dry those tears, straighten up and get out and start hosting these people. Start allowing them in your home. And like I said, don't you dare put a fence around your yard. Don't you dare lock your doors. Don't you dare lock your windows. Don't you dare put up security cameras. And you can pay for the cell phones, and you can pay for the food, and you can pay for the health care. And do this all without a weapon in your home. You better not have a gun to defend yourself if these people turn out to be criminals. And if they want to take your children and behead them and videotape it, you're going to, think that's great because apparently you think it's great when Hamas does it. So if they pull your children out of your home and they rape them and they murder them, you had it coming, apparently. According to you, that is okay. And according to you, those are things that we should be protesting and demonstrating and saying that we're pro beheading, pro murdering, pro rape. And we should definitely, they should videotape it and put it up on social media for all to see as sick, twisted bastards. And you better watch it and love every effing minute of it because you think these people are fantastic. Enough that you are trying to shove your beliefs down other people's throats and be violent toward them if they don't agree with you. What a messed up world. I'm sorry, but I hope they come to you first. If you are someone that is pro-Palestine, pro-Hamas, I'm sorry, but I hope karma dishes you the biggest, fattest spoonful of justice. I'm not pro babies being hurt. I don't want children to be hurt just for revenge. I don't want that. But Jesus, what a sick, twisted world it is right now. I want to do podcasts that are happy. I really do. But it's like, what? Again, I'm trying so hard to be outside. It's a beautiful day. I know it's going to start raining. So I've been outside trying to breathe it in, being thankful for the fact that I have property to be able to enjoy. And I am. I'm happy that I have healthy grandkids. I'm happy that I have grandkids. I'm happy that I have healthy sons. I'm happy that I have a wonderful fiance. I love all of my animals. I love my friends. I have amazing friends. I'm happy that I have a job. I'm happy that I can pay my bills. My health is good. I have a million things to be thankful for. A million. And I'm desperately trying to cling to those things. But like I've said before, I also don't want to bury my head in the sand as to what's going on. I want to be prepared, but I don't know how you prepare for terrorists. I don't know how you prepare for war. My kids are not fucking going to a war in another country, I can tell you that. Over my dead body, I will go to war in replace of them. They're not fighting for someone else's country. I want Israel to be safe. I am pro-Israel. I stand by Israel. But I don't want my children to go to war in Israel. We have shit going on in our own country, and I want our own country right now. We have enough terrorists and drug lords and people that want to sex traffic our children coming across our border that we need to focus on. So I'm sorry for other countries, but right now, and my heart goes out to other countries, my prayers go out to Israel. But right now, we need to stay here and fight our battles because we have a lot of shit going on. But my kids are not going to another country, and neither am I can tell you that. Anyway, we will end on a positive, though, and that is happy Tuesday. I hope that wherever you are in the world, you have some things you can focus on that are good. I know it's really difficult for people in like Israel and Palestine and Africa and certain parts of the world. I understand that it's very difficult to focus on any kind of positive, especially if you've lost a loved one and your world is just being torn upside down. But try not to let the evil win. Try not to let the evil overpower the good. That's how we're going to lose, is if all this evilness seeps its way in, which it has, and it cannot overtake us. I saw a meme on TikTok that was like this grasshopper on, I think it's A Bug's Life, just talking about how, or it's ants or whatever, but talking about how if they start realizing that there's power in numbers, they will take over. So we have to keep them divided and not realizing that there's power in numbers and not realizing that there's more of us. Well, he says that there's more of them than there is us. And if they start gathering because there's more of them than us, and if they start getting on the same page and working together, they could easily overthrow us. Well, that is exactly what's happening. That's exactly what's happening. The government is trying to keep us divided because they know there is more of us than there is of them. And if, God forbid, we take a stand and we stop bickering and we stop bitching and we stop crying and we put on our big boy and girl and our non-gender specific pants, that we absolutely will 100% overthrow them. And we can, and we have that right, and we should. We absolutely should. If there's anything that I am pro, I will fucking get a gun. I will get a sign. I will use my words to absolutely join forces with the masses and overthrow this government. 100% I would. And we should all do that. And we need to get off TikTok and Instagram and get on things that are from America that do not censor. So anyway, those are some things that have been keeping me up, some things on my mind. Man, I appreciate you guys. You are all fabulous, fantastic humans. You are all different and come from different countries, and that is fascinating and amazing, and we could all learn from each other. Canada, Australia, we can learn from you. We can learn what to do, what not to do. We can learn from countries that are succeeding and doing well. We can learn from countries that aren't doing so hot, like ours, like America. Again, where's Switzerland? Switzerland, hello, hello. What are y'all doing over there? You're just like always neutral. Just sometimes annoying, not gonna lie. Anyway, thanks for listening to episode 102 of the Ramblings of an Insomniac. You stay humble. Stay humble. Worry about you, but also worry about you as in your own flaws and things you need to fix. But help your neighbor, have your neighbors back, have your friends back, and keep listening. I appreciate you.